Coming up next, Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan star in Sergeant York. Then, a special report from Cable News Network, Chemical Warfare. Followed by the Chicago Cubs facing the Atlanta Braves. Right here on Superstation WTBS.
Join CNN for live coverage of special Memorial Day services in honor of Americans killed in Vietnam. Monday morning at 11 Eastern Time on CNN.
Time for our Academy Award Theater. This morning, the 1941 drama Sergeant York, a true classic. It was directed by Howard Hawks. It stars Gary Cooper and his good buddy Walter Brennan. Ward Bond is also in our film. The picture, by the way, was nominated for 11 Oscars, including Best Picture, Actor, Director, and Screenplay. It actually won awards for Best Picture and Best Actor. Sergeant York was really a project that was originated way back in 1919 on May 22nd when producer Jesse Lasky looked out his New York Fifth Avenue office window and saw a ticker tape parade for the real Sergeant York. Well, it was then he tried to put the World War I hero under contract, but York refused and went back to his previous life in the Tennessee hills. But in the spring of 1939, when war broke out again in Europe, the dream of making a film of York's life again obsessed Lasky. It occurred to him that York could be sold on the idea that it was his patriotic duty to serve as an inspiration to a new generation of Americans. When his telegram got no reply, Lasky went to Tennessee, and he found the most celebrated fighting man of World War I, now concerned with nothing more than raising enough money to finish construction of a Bible school. It took Lasky 2 more personal trips, and once he had convinced York that the money would finish off the Bible school, the deal was cinched. Then it was on to Gary Cooper, who had reservations about playing the role of a man who was still alive, and also because he thought himself a bit too old for the part. But once Cooper accepted the role and Howard Hawks agreed to direct it, Warner Brothers financed the picture, Lasky's dream finally came true, and the film, as we know, is a classic. Hope you enjoy Sergeant York.
The Academy Award Theater is brought to you in part by dark, sparkling Folger's crystals.
Uh-oh, light's still on at the Porters. Better check it out. What's up?
Jeffrey, he's soaked again.
Cloth diapers. Cloth diapers ruffle my feathers.
Why?
Not enough wetness protection inside. Here, Pampers with Stay Dry Gathers helps protect Jeff's skin against wetness right down to his toes. Watch. Wet both, put in a blotter, press equally. Pampers keeps babies a lot drier.
And these Stay Dry Gathers.
Nothing's gentler. Helps keep him dry outside.
That's wetness protection, right down to his toes.
Yep. Pampers helps protect baby's skin against wetness right down to his toes. Well, Mr. Night Owl's snug and dry in his nest.
Mary Beth loves to spot a bargain. In fact, she spotted that bargain dishwasher detergent this morning.
Spotted is certainly a good word for it.
Allison spotted a bargain just this afternoon.
And it seems to have spotted me back.
Spots are no bargain. That's why you should try Cascade. See, most bargain brands can leave drops that spot, but Cascade has sheeting action to help prevent spots from forming. Looks like Mary Beth spotted a real bargain this time.
I went back to Cascade for good. I did too, and my glasses looked terrific.
For virtually spotless dishes, try Cascade, because spots are no bargain.
For every person you see on a Piedmont jet, there are 5 people working behind the scenes. People you never see, but people who are just as important as the ones who fly the planes. Piedmont's unsung heroes, over 5,000 people who never get off the ground, help keep us the up-and-coming airline.
You beat the team you had to beat. Hey, look! You fit it in the dust and heat. Now you're thirsty and hot, and you know what to do, 'cause there's something big waiting for me and you. Coke is it, the biggest taste you've ever found. Coke is it, the one that never lets you down. Coke is it, the most refreshing taste around. Coke is it, Coke is it.
I took my high blood pressure pills only when I felt nervous or upset. Now I take them every day. It's the only way.
High blood pressure. Treat it for life.
This week's big story, the MX package deal.
You know, MX by itself is almost inconsequential.
Why did Congress okay spending for development of an inconsequential missile? Will it be the bargaining tool the president hopes for? The MX package deal, Sunday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central on CNN.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
From CNN Headline News, this is TBS Newswatch.
The first formal meeting of the Seven-Nation Economic Summit in Williamsburg, Virginia begins today. Among the items to be discussed are unemployment, international debt, and trade barriers. More hot weather is expected today in Utah, and that means a threat of more flooding from melting snow in the mountains, but authorities are hoping the worst is over. Meanwhile, there are no immediate reports of injuries from a mudslide that rolled into a housing development near the Squaw Valley Ski Resort in California this morning. Placer County deputies and firefighters are reported at the scene. I'll look at sports after this.
A weekend vacation for your family can cost you a lot more than $200. Now, for under $200, you can have a whole summer of fun. It's Coleco's Summer Saver Pool Package. A sturdy steel pool with filter, ladder, and Terry Chlorinator. Buy now and get a free summer supply of Terry Chlorinating tablets. The long-lasting sanitizer that makes pool care so simple.
Another swim, darling?
At these prices, why not?
Coleco Summer Saver Pool Package, under $200.
Veterans, this is for you. If you served in the Army, if you served in the Navy, if you were in the Air Force or in the Marines, if you served in the Coast Guard, National Guard, or Reserves, you're eligible to apply for cash benefits from the Veterans Life Insurance Company. Here's fellow veteran Roger Staubach to tell you how.
If you're a veteran age 18 to 59, or the spouse or widow of a veteran, write down this toll-free number, because this number can actually help guarantee a secure future for your family. Just one quick phone call will bring you the free facts about an important new offer for U.S. veterans. Learn how you can get $10, $20, $30, even up to $50,000 in term life protection for your family at low rates. You choose the amount of coverage that's best for your own needs, and your spouse is also eligible to apply for this plan, which could mean as much as $100,000 of cash protection at rates you can afford. This offer comes to you from Veterans Life Insurance Company, the insurance company that wants to do more for vets. Call now and we'll rush you a free information kit showing you just how easy it is to apply for these cash benefits. Best of all, you don't have to take a medical exam. Along with your free information kit, you'll also receive your own Veterans Life Card embossed with your name, free and with no obligation. As a veteran myself, I urge you not to miss this special offer for veterans only. You deserve this protection, and you owe it to yourself and your family to get the facts. Pick up your phone and call now.
Call 1-800-257-1234 for your free information kit. Call and Veterans Life will also send you a valuable free gift. This updated guide to veterans benefits, showing you what governmental benefits you're entitled to and how to collect. Call now, 1-800-257-1234. There's no obligation, no risk. That's 1-800-257-1234.
Veterans Life. Ask what our company can do for you.
In sports, it's race day at Indianapolis, and the National Weather Service predicts a 50% chance of rain in the area this morning. But if there's no delay, the green flag for the Indy 500 will fall at noon with Italian rookie Teo Fabi on the pole. For Newswatch, I'm Bob Varsha.
From CNN Headline News, this has been TBS Newswatch.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
This is New Orleans' world-famous Arnaud's restaurant. We secretly replaced the fine coffee they normally serve with Folger's crystals. Our dark, sparkling Folger's crystals rich enough to top off a fabulous meal? Watch.
Do you have more? I mean, it's delicious.
And a good, rich body and flavor.
It was Folger's crystals.
I don't believe it.
Oh, no. You mean instant? I would serve it at home because it's delicious.
I'd like another cup.
Folger's crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
Nobody makes a better pizza than you and Chef Boyardee.
Julie Anderson and Chef Boyardee. I won the 1982 Pizza Cook-Off.
I use Chef Boyardee pizza mix. You get fresh dough, rich tomato sauce, and lots of cheese. Then I add my own ingredients to create my burrito Mex-Italian pizza.
Nobody does make a better pizza than you and Chef Boyardee. Try this grand prize-winning recipe, the burrito Mex-Italian pizza, or create your own winning recipe at home with Chef Boyardee pizza mix.
Are you crazy? I've got roaches, and you tell me not to use Black Flag? Ha ha! Ha ha!
I'm not crazy. There's something better.
Better? Never.
New improved Black Flag anti-roach spray. Kills bugs faster than it ever did before.
Regular spray scatters its strength, but new Black Flag with concentrated killing power kills faster than ever.
You're not crazy. Black Flag's better.
New improved Black Flag anti-roach spray with concentrated killing power kills roaches faster than ever.
Never thought my baby daughter would become a lawyer.
Oh, Dad, you always said I could do anything.
Well, I said it, but you actually did it.
Let's have some coffee.
Only half a cup.
But you love fresh brewed coffee.
Yes, but the caffeine.
Look.
Brim decaffeinated coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it tastes this rich, fill it to the rim.
Fill your cup to the rim with the richness of Brim.
No diet in the world will help you lose weight until you do one thing. Control your appetite.
I had a huge appetite, but Dexatrim curbed my hunger, and I lost weight.
The extra-strength Dexatrim diet plan, the strongest appetite control formula you can buy without prescription. Dexatrim helps you eat less and lose weight.
I used to nibble between meals, but Dexatrim helped me eat sensibly and lose weight.
Extra-strength Dexatrim. No appetite control capsule works harder to help you lose weight.
Catch all the exciting live action when America's team blasts away at the Chicago Cubs. Today, 2:05 Eastern on Superstation WTBS. It's more than highlights. It's real sports news. The Coors Sports Page, a weekly wrap-up of the latest action, plus a review of the important wins and upsets. For all that's news from the world of sports, join John Sterling and Kevin Christopher for the Coors Sports Page tonight on Superstation WTBS.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
From CNN Headline News, this is TBS Newswatch.
Irish police say gangs of young people throwing Molotov cocktails clashed with police in running battles in the streets of Londonderry, Northern Ireland early today. No injuries or arrests were reported. A new unit of 1,200 U.S. Marines is arriving in Lebanon to replace those who've been there since February. The landing operations involving helicopters and amphibious vehicles are to be completed today. And Alicia, Barry, Chantal, and Dean may be remembered in years to come for a special reason. Those are among the names heading the list for the 1983 Atlantic hurricane season, which begins on Wednesday. Sports is coming up after this.
I can't find my sweater.
Don't forget to brush.
Dad, I'm tired of Mom working.
Come on, she doesn't stop looking after you. Right down to this. Mom even makes sure we have advanced formula crest with Fluorostat.
Why?
Gives even more protection than the crest we grew up on. She wants you to get even fewer cavities than we did. And to find your own sweater.
Time to grow up, huh?
With Crest, your kids could have even fewer cavities than you did.
For bugs or termites, Americans rely on one company far more than any other.
Orkin.
Orkin. Orkin.
Orkin.
Some choose us for our guaranteed service. Orkin. Some for our famous chemicals.
Orkin.
And some for our special care around kids and pets.
Orkin.
But whatever the reason, far more Americans choose Orkin Army Pest Control than any other.
Orkin! Call the Orkin Army, #1 against pests.
I was overweight and looked terrible, but AIDS helped me lose 46 pounds.
The AIDS diet plan helped me lose 28 pounds.
AIDS helps control your appetite so you lose weight. Yet AIDS lets you taste, chew, and enjoy. And the appetite suppressant in AIDS is not a stimulant.
AIDS helped me to lose 18 pounds, and it doesn't contain anything to make me nervous.
Question: why take diet pills when you can enjoy AIDS? AIDS helps you lose weight without making you jittery.
Oh, Sally, what happened?
Oh, strained my back.
I know what'll help. Doan's pills.
Good advice. Doan's pills for simple muscular backache pain due to overexertion, stress, or strain.
Doan's pills contain magnesium salicylate, a painkiller found in no other leading analgesic, for relief of minor muscular backache pain for hours.
Just drop by to see how your back feels. Good enough to fold sheets, thanks to taking Doan's pills.
Doan's pills. Use only as directed.
This weekend, guide your entertainment by the Hollywood Journal. Go beyond the stars with The Return of the Jedi.
I don't know. Fly casual.
Then come home to greet an old friend, Zorba the Greek. Look over the new television season and attend the Wizards reunion. From old favorites to modern classics, the Hollywood Journal keeps you in touch with all the entertainment news. Don't miss your favorites. Join host Sandy Kenyon this Sunday afternoon at 3:10 Eastern Time on CNN.
In sports, the NBA Championship Series switches to Los Angeles today with the defending champion Lakers trailing the Philadelphia 76ers 2-0. For Newswatch, I'm Bob Varsha.
From CNN Headline News, this has been TBS Newswatch.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
Centrum, the nutritional multivitamin, invites you to enjoy this Academy Award Theatre preview.
All right, man, up and over. On the double.
They'd trained for this day for months, but nothing could truly prepare them.
Feeling a bit edgy?
Afraid I am, sir.
There was no way to know how it would end.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Germans were sitting up and waiting on the other side.
No way to know if their last goodbyes had been their final goodbyes. It was D-Day, the 6th of June. Sunday on Superstation WTBS, cable's most popular network.
This Academy Award Theatre preview was brought to you by Centrum, the vitamin with nutritional support from A to Zinc. More complete than any other leading brand.
These are America's 6 best-selling daily nutritional supplements, but Advanced Formula Centrum is more complete than the others. With 6 more vitamins and minerals than Myadec, 7 more than Theragran M, 12 more than 1 a day plus iron, 13 more than 1 a day essential, 15 more than Geritol tablets. Advanced Formula Centrum, more complete than these leading brands, from A to Zinc. And there's Centrum Junior, more complete than any leading children's chewable vitamin.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
You're late.
A day late.
Isn't this Tuesday?
The dinner party was last night.
Why not join us for leftovers? Cold fried chicken.
I'll refry it.
Won't it taste greasy?
Not with Crisco oil.
Looks crispy. Mmm, delicious, not greasy. And I missed this last night? Yeah, this and Diane. Your date?
Crisco oil for fried foods that taste great, not greasy.
Introducing new sugar-free Kool-Aid.
Now kids have a sugar-free from Kool-Aid. It's gotta be the one sugar-free for kids.
It's about time to make it a sugar-free for kids. Pre-sweetened with NutraSweet, a new natural-tasting sweetener for that great Kool-Aid taste.
It's the one sugar-free for kids.
About half the price of soda, with vitamin C. Kool-Aid makes the only sugar-free for my kids.
It's the one sugar-free for kids.
Kool-Aid brand sugar-free soft drink mix.
Look who's gone international.
Everyone in Bird's Eye Village.
All here to taste my Bird's Eye International Recipe vegetables.
And do they taste terrific?
Far Eastern. That could do wonders for meatloaf.
They're San Francisco style, too.
And Mexicana to make any meal a fiesta. It's like dining somewhere exciting every night.
Without leaving home. Delicious new Bird's Eye International recipes. Take your dinner somewhere exciting. Come to Bird's Eye.
New Lemon Glow Ajax Cleaner. New from its fresh lemony scent to how it digs under dirt to reveal your floor's clean shine.
Let the shine shine through. Ajax lets the shine shine through.
Just wash. You don't even have to rinse. Try that with some cleaners. Your floor can look hazy. New Lemon Glow Ajax lets the shine shine through on your floor and more.
Ajax lets the shine shine through.
Overnight trips are great, but I feel better when I bring along some special things, like my favorite slippers, my comfortable robe,
And of course, these. Nighttime is the right time for Stay Free Super Maxi Pads. They've got that little extra you need, plus a special E-fold with interlocking layers for a super shape, soft and fluffy. That's super for overnight. And with all this protection, you can go anywhere and still feel at home.
Stay Free Super Maxi Pads, super for overnight.
You are entering the fishing tournament at Lake Wakapuji.
Sir? For a man who's no good at sports.
I happen to hate fish, to handle them, to smell them.
He sure is a good sport.
She came in last night just to borrow a sleeping pill.
Roger, there's no use you're explaining. She's never going to believe you.
Man's favorite sport. Monday night on Superstation WTBS, cable's most popular network. Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
From CNN Headline News, this is TBS Newswatch.
Police in Paris say bombs believed to be planted by pro-independence groups rocked French offices in 3 foreign countries and in Paris yesterday. Officials say 1 person was killed and there was considerable damage. The owner of the illegal fireworks factory that blew up near Benton, Tennessee on Friday, killing 11 people, has surrendered to authorities. He's charged with illegally manufacturing explosives. And Alf Landon, best remembered for his crushing defeat by Franklin Roosevelt in the 1936 presidential election, is being treated at a Topeka hospital for a broken hip he suffered in a fall last night. Sports is coming up after this.
Time to put the tail on the donkey!
Wrong, Mom.
It's time for the Pringles jingle. Huh? Once you taste the flavor, then you get the fever, then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles. Once you taste the fluffer, you need help. Once you taste the flavor, then you get the fever. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles. Once you taste the flavor, it's the deep fried taste. Then you get the fever. It's the crispy crunch. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Wait till you taste Pringles now.
Why do you insist on Preparation H?
When you find something that you like and that works for you, you don't want to switch. I am not interested in experimenting anymore. I've tried other products and always come back to Preparation H.
Doctor-recommended Preparation H often gives temporary relief from pain and itch flare-ups, even helps shrink swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues.
My medicine cabinet only has Preparation H. Preparation H is super.
Preparation H relieves pain and itch, even helps shrink swelling.
When Hunt's asked me to introduce their new barbecue sauce, I said, I don't know, fellas. Then they said, try this. Drop a brush in Hunt's and a leading national brand. Hunt's is so thick, the brush doesn't sink. And the thicker, the better. It's full of chunks of real vegetables, and it's all natural. Boy, is it better. So I'm introducing Hunt's all-natural barbecue sauce. Hunt's, say hello to the folks.
Papa Smurf, first pictures of the new Smurf Playland.
Let's see 'em.
Kids can climb up the ladder and down they slide. Climb up again for another ride. Here's the Smurf sandbox to make Smurf fine.
And happy big Smurfy eyes.
Look, the Smurf Playhouse. A nice place to visit.
Knock once or twice and call out.
Who is it? The Smurf Play Table is great for lunch.
With Smurf scenes and picnic punch.
Well, we did it again.
Now kids can have
their own Smurf Playland.
If you think you've been smoking so long it won't do you any good to stop now, here's some good news from medical science. Lungs brown from years of smoking can gradually become cleaner again and show significant breathing improvement if you break the cigarette habit. If you really want to stop smoking, Bantron can help curb your urge to smoke, help ease your craving for nicotine. Let Bantron help you break the cigarette habit. Do it for yourself, and do it for your family. Bantron Smoking Deterrent Tablets.
In sports, the Philadelphia Stars can clinch the first playoff spot in United States Football League history with a victory over the Boston Breakers today. The Stars own an 8-game winning streak and an 11-1 record. I'm Bob Barsha for Newswatch.
From CNN Headline News, this has been TBS Newswatch.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan.
From CNN Headline News, this is TBS Newswatch.
Opinion polls in Britain show Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher's Conservative Party winning the June 9th parliamentary elections by a landslide. 5 polls give her a lead of more than 17%. Doctors in Barcelona, Spain say Xavier Cugat is in grave condition today in a Spanish hospital. The 83-year-old bandleader is suffering from a lung illness. And organizers of the Second Us Festival say today should be the biggest day of the 3-day event in a California park. They expect the turnout to surpass yesterday's crowd of 140,000 people. Sports is coming up after this.
After an afternoon of this, you're not just tired, you're exhausted. That's why one thing waiting for every player in the NFL is Coast Deodorant Soap. With its stimulating scent and lather that feels terrific, Coast refreshes you and restores you and picks you up in a way no other soap can. And if Coast can help after this, imagine how it can make you feel after a day in the office. No tired is too tired for Coast.
You've never seen a Six Flags like this before. You never had a faster fall than this before. You never had a place to play like this before.
The play for every kid's dream.
You never had a way to ride than this before.
The wettest on the river's ever been. You've never seen a Six Flags like the one we've dreamed of now.
Brave the 10-story free falls. Play in the new Pac-Man Playfort. There's a wetter Thunder River, new shows, and more.
So come on out to Six Flags. Come and see what we've dreamed of now.
You look sad for a lady on her birthday.
But it's a big one, Al.
I see. I guess there's nothing flavor-rich makes that could change that. Like creamy ice cream.
You're only as young as you feel.
Everything flavor-rich makes smiles. From ice cream to milk, you'll find great flavor-rich taste.
Mmm.
Besides, you're not the big 1-0. You're a perfect 10.
Flavor-rich, fresh taste from our family jewels.
Monday on Moneyline, our guest will be one of the country's best-known economists, Arthur Laffer. He's the one who created the Laffer curve. And we'll have reports for you on the Economic Summit in Williamsburg as it wraps up. We'll have a full report on the outcome of that meeting with correspondent Tom Cassidy reporting live from Williamsburg. We'll have all of the economics and financial news of the day on Moneyline, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Cable News Network.
The hottest video music is on Superstation WTBS.
Night Tracks.
6 solid hours of your favorite video hits performed by today's top recording stars. Night Tracks. Friday and Saturday night at 12:05, 9:05 Pacific on Superstation WTBS.
In sports, unlike last year, the 67th running of the Indianapolis 500 got off to a clean start at noontime today, with pole sitter Teo Fabi running ahead of Rick Mears and Mike Mosley in the early going. For Newswatch, I'm Bob Varsha.
From CNN Headline News, this has been TBS Newswatch.
Now, back to Sergeant York, starring Gary Cooper and Walter Brennan. The Academy Award Theatre has been brought to you in part by Coast. No tired is too tired for Coast.
We hope you enjoyed Sergeant York. By the way, Sergeant York was one of the biggest Hollywood had ever seen. There was a 90-day shooting schedule and 13 sets. Both were unheard of at that time, and more speaking parts than any other Hollywood film. But it was worth it. Alvin York, audiences, and critics all loved the picture. Hope you enjoyed it. Next week, Robert Taylor stars in D-Day, the 6th of June. Have a nice day.
If you love music, and lots of it, then you'll love our 50-song, 5-album Super Hits collection. You can have dance songs.
Cause don't forget who's taking you home and whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me.
Love songs. Lonely songs.
Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love.
Just when you needed it the most, Cindy Lou will send you all 50 super hits on 5 LPs, 5 8-tracks, or 5 cassettes, all for just $19.95.
Like the sound of a good old rock and roll lullaby. Down in the
Now you you can have the music you've always wanted and start your own music library with not one, not two, but 5 super hit albums. Please specify whether you want your 50 songs on 5 LPs, 5 8-tracks, or 5 cassettes. Stand by to order.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-257-1234. In New Jersey, call 800-232-6966 or save COD charge by sending $19.95 for records or tapes to Super Hits, Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia, 30357. That's Super Hits, Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia, 30357. Call now. Operators on duty. Visa or MasterCard accepted.
It's more than highlights. It's real sports news. The Coors Sports Page, a weekly wrap-up of the latest action, plus a review of the important wins and upsets. For all that's news from the world of sports, join John Sterling and Kevin Christopher for the Coors Sports Page tonight on Superstation WTBS.
From CNN Headline News, this is Newswatch.
World leaders conclude the first session of the International Economic Summit meeting. Hello, I'm Bud Elliott.
And I'm Gwen Summers. The leaders of 7 key industrialized nations and the head of the European Economic Community held their opening session today at the Williamsburg Summit. They left the meeting at the House of Burgesses to launch at the historic Riley Tavern. Earlier, 5 of the leaders joined President Reagan at the Bruton Parish Church to pray for world peace.
At the start of the 3-day meeting, protesters gathered in Williamsburg to demonstrate against U.S. plans to deploy medium-range nuclear missiles in Europe. Others rallied against Reagan economic policies. The protest turned quiet and low-key. CNN's Tom Mintier is in Williamsburg and reports on security measures at the summits.
The International Summit of Industrialized Nations being held in Williamsburg is being covered by more than 4,000 journalists. They have gone to great lengths to cover this summit, but apparently the pomp and circumstance will be about all they get until the meetings are over. Unlike previous summits, the ground rules this time are very restrictive. All the participating nations have agreed not to talk to the press until the last session is held Monday afternoon. To ensure compliance of this rule, the residences of the heads of states will be off limits to the press during the entire summit. Secret Service agents will be posted all over the area to both protect the dignitaries and keep the news media at arm's length. Camera positions have been kept at a safe distance during the summit to limit those often shouted questions. Should someone be brave enough to attempt it, the response, if there is one, will probably be no questions. Realistically, this is going to be a secret summit. Although high administration officials will brief reporters, the information is secondhand, and information released is limited to what they want released. The public won't know if the meetings are going well or if heated debate slows the meeting's progress. Unless someone actually walks out of the summit, there will be few reliable signals of how things are really going. There's only one chance that the summit proceedings will go public. Several delegations have already promised to do that if anyone breaks the code of silence. That silence may be broken Sunday night when British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher heads home. There are indications she will be available to the British press before she leaves. If that happens, the secret summit won't be a secret anymore. Tom Mintier, CNN, at the summit in Williamsburg.
A Soviet threat to place new medium-range missiles in Europe is drawing criticism from the U.S. From Washington, CNN's Mary Tillotson has more on U.S. reaction to the threat.
Within hours after the Soviet threat to deploy nuclear weapons in Eastern Europe, the State Department was calling the threatened retaliation unwarranted, since, according to the State Department, U.S. deployment of new Pershing and cruise missiles would only be to modernize Allied forces, as the State Department puts it, in the face of the Soviet massive nuclear buildup. The State Department says the moratorium on SS-20 deployments the Soviets are threatening to lift doesn't even exist, since the Soviets have been deploying SS-20 medium-range missiles over the past year. The State Department reply says if the Soviet Union wants to stop NATO deployments in Western Europe, the opportunity to do that exists in the Reagan administration's so-called zero-option plan to eliminate the entire class of American and Soviet long-range land-based missiles. The Soviets have said any such negotiations should include British and French missiles aimed at Russia. But the State Department counters that Soviet demands for nuclear forces as large as all the countries combined is tantamount to a demand for effective military superiority and thus global hegemony. A State Department source described the new Soviet threat as just more Soviet propaganda timed to coincide with the Williamsburg summit and designed to introduce some divisiveness among the 7 international leaders there. The official administration view is that the Soviet tactic won't work. Mary Tillotson, CNN at the State Department.
The Israeli cabinet has approved a troop buildup along its northern border in the Golan Heights. This after a briefing from the Israeli defense minister, the chief of staff, and director of military intelligence, and similar talks in the U.S. The approval comes in light of escalating tension between Israel and Syria and continued fighting between Christian and Druze militiamen.
Special ceremonies were held in Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia today. They marked the 25th anniversary of the entombment of the unknown soldiers from World War II and the Korean War. Arlington will also be the scene of Memorial Day services tomorrow. This is CNN Headline News.
Holiday traffic deaths nationwide have reached 126 so far on this Memorial Day weekend, with 36 hours left to go. State and local police around the country are out in force trying to prevent more accidents. One area they're concentrating on is drunk drivers. Greg Lyons reports from San Francisco that is also a concern of a California woman.
And costs you more money than all other crimes combined. We're talking about $24 billion a year.
Candy Leitner rattles off the horrifying numbers on drunk driving with an ease that comes of 3 years of cross-country crusading. On May 3rd of 1980, keeping drunks off the road became the focus of her life when her daughter Carrie was run down and killed on a Sacramento street. According to Leitner, 1 out of 2 Americans will be the victims of an alcohol-related crash in their lives unless something is done. And she has made it a personal crusade to get something done. Her latest campaign may be the most controversial, a proposal for police roadblocks, a dragnet to catch the drunk.
To test them, find out if they have any alcohol on their breath. That is the main purpose of it. And if not, they go onward.
It's hard to argue with a woman who has lost a child to a drunk driver, especially when the damage drunk drivers do is so painfully clear to all of us every day. And yet there are those who say Candy Leitner's single-minded campaign against drunk drivers may be a threat to the civil liberties of all of us.
It really raises a specter of, in fact, of a police state and the sort of situation where a person can only pass a given point after being inspected and checked out by an officer.
Amitai Schwartz of the American Civil Liberties Union does not argue with Candy Leitner's motives in fighting drunk drivers and the tragedy they cause. But he and other groups fear that roadblocks may do more harm to the Constitution than they do to the drunk.
As in this situation, like any others, you can't cut corners on the Constitution of the United States or the Constitution of California in order to accomplish what would otherwise be a valid purpose.
One thing is clear, drunk driving is a national tragedy to rival any war. On an ordinary day in this country, 70 people will die because of drunks. On this Memorial Day weekend, it will be worse. In San Francisco, Greg Lyons.
NAACP Executive Director Benjamin Hooks was formally reinstated yesterday by a majority of the group's board members. Hooks told ABC's This Week with David Brinkley the dispute between himself and Chairman Margaret Bush Wilson has been resolved.
It was a misunderstanding which only the board could clear up. They've done it, and I bear no ill will, no personal animosity toward Mrs. Wilson at all. I am glad that the board has cleared up and made plain and clear what the respective roles should be of the chairperson of the board and the executive director, who is the chief executive officer of the organization.
You're in tune with the world.
From CNN Headline News, this has been Newswatch.
Coming up next, it's a provocative and informative look into the world of chemical warfare, produced by Cable News Network. Then Major League Baseball excitement as the Chicago Cubs meet the Atlanta Braves, followed by the last of the wild here on Superstation WTBS.
I am not easily impressed, particularly when it comes to claims of dramatic weight loss. But I've never seen anything like this. Thousands of men and women successfully losing pounds and inches. Hundreds upon hundreds of testimonials praising the Energizer, a revolutionary weight loss product that just may be the weight loss answer we've all been looking for.
I wanted to lose 10 pounds, and I lost 10 pounds.
I've made terrific progress. I've lost 16 pounds in just 2 weeks.
8 pounds and 2 inches in 1 week.
Yes, this is what everyone's talking about. The Energizer, a clinically tested time-release formula and a copyrighted weight loss plan to help you lose weight fast.
I can't believe it. I lost 12 pounds in 10 days.
After Lisa was born, I just couldn't seem to take off the extra weight. And then I discovered the Energizer.
No question about it. The Energizer is a dramatically effective weight loss product.
As of this morning, I've lost 24 pounds.
The inches came off in all the right places.
I lost 30 pounds, and I feel fantastic.
I know you've tried and maybe failed with other methods. So this time, I want you to be 100% convinced. That's why we'll make you this very unusual offer. By ordering now, you can receive one 24-day supply of the Energizer. If after 24 days you don't lose all the weight you want to lose, we'll send you another 24-day supply absolutely free. You pay postage and handling only.
To order, phone toll-free 1-800-257-1234. In New Jersey, call 800-232-6966. Remember, you get a 24-day supply of the Energizer for only $19.95, and a second 24-day supply absolutely free if you do not lose all the weight you want. Phone 1-800-257-1234. To avoid COD charges, use your credit card or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $2 postage and handling to Energizer, Post Office Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia 30357. Call now.
Monday, start your day with a little romance on the TBS morning movie. They all had their eye on Errol Flynn, but Betty Davis was the one who stole his heart in Sisters. Then, on Wednesday morning, get ready for classic Hitchcock suspense. Henry Fonda claims he didn't do it, but the cops aren't convinced, and even his wife isn't sure. Henry Fonda says that he's the wrong man. The TBS Daytime Movies, only on Superstation WTBS.